Welcome to week 7. Today you will be learning about organization of content in long documents. This week also we will be working on Microsoft Word. This is the outline for today's lesson. We will talk about lists with bullets and numbers, or ordered or unordered lists, then topics in the outline, master document, adding table of contents, list of figures or list of tables, then what is index, then about footnotes and endnotes, and finally we will talk about reference tools, which is a very important tool that you should learn when you are creating long documents. After completing this lesson, you will be able to create long documents like reports and dissertations. This is really important for your assignments and projects where you need to write reports. Also, you will be able to create lists with bullets and numbers, set topics in the outline, create master documents, then how to create table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables, then creating the index, adding footnotes and endnotes, and finally about using reference tools. When working with lengthy documents, it is necessary to properly organize the content. You may be having several sections and even subsections to organize your content. If you have not done so, highlighting the important facts in the main body of your report would be difficult. There are several ways to organize content in long documents for easy editing, handling, or even for easy reading. When we are writing a long document, time to time, the way we have put our references would change. Even the page numbers in the index may vary based on the way we are writing the document. It would be very difficult if we are going to do it in a manual process. If we can do it automatically, it would be very easy to modify a document without worrying about the changes that would happen to the list of references or to the index. Let's move on to the first topic, list with bullets and numbers. Let's assume you have list of items. If you want to make an ordered list, then you can select numbered list. If you have set of items and you want to make them as an unordered list, then you can select bulleted list. So how to get numbered list? So this is used when the ordering of your items is important. There are two options to get numbered list. The first option would be you can type 1, then you can press period, or you can enter the full stop at the beginning of the paragraph, and then press the space bar or the tab key before entering the list of items. The second option would be you type the list of items, then you select all of those items, then you can click the numbering button in the paragraph group on the Home tab. Then how to get the bulleted list? Similarly, there are two options. In the first option, you type the asterisk at the beginning of the paragraph, then press the space bar or the tab key before entering the item text. So if you have a list of items, then you can select the list of items and you can click the bullet button in the paragraph group on the Home tab. Here you can see the difference between the bullet list and the numbered list. So if you want to have an ordering, then you can select the numbered list and you can see how it would be displayed. Let's see how we can do that. This is my long document. It is about input and output devices, which you have learned previously, which is actually the lesson 2. Based on that content, I have prepared this long document. So you have the introduction, then input devices, finally you have a description about output devices. And inside that you have different subsections like monitor, printer, likewise. Here you can see a list of input devices categorized as text, pointing, gaming, image, and audio input. I want to make this as a numbered list. So how can I make this as a numbered list? I put 1, then dot or the full stop, then space bar. So it has been converted to a numbered item. Then next one, again, I put the next value 2, the dot, then space bar. Similarly, for the third item also, I put 3, full stop, then space bar. If not, I can use the tab key. Let me move on to the second way to make the numbered list. I will undo my changes. So I can highlight all my items and here you can see the numbering. So I will click on this arrow and you can get different ways of numbering these items. Let me select this one. So I will get 1, 2, 3, 4 likewise. Maybe I want a different way of numbering. Let's say I want ABC. So you can see how it has been changed. Now I feel that it is better to have an unordered list rather than having an ordered list like this. So I want to convert this to a bulleted list. To get the bullets, first thing I can try out, put the asterisk, then space bar. Then for the second item also, asterisk, space bar. Similarly, for the third item also, asterisk, space bar. Likewise, you can do the same thing for the second item and the fifth item. Let me try the second option. I will undo. I will highlight everything. Then I will go to this bullets. Click on the arrow and I can pick one of the symbols. Let me try this one. So you get the bullets like this. If I want to change the symbol, then I can click on the bullets again, and from the bullet library, I can pick one of the symbols I prefer. Let me pick this tick mark. So you can see how we can change the bullet symbols. Now I want to sort my bullet items. So how can I do it? Here you can see this sort icon. So you can arrange your items ascending order or descending order. Let me click on this one. So it says how I want to arrange them. I will keep ascending order. Then I will click OK. Now you can see how my content has been arranged. A, audio, then G, the next item, likewise. If I want to change it to the descending order, I click on that again. I pick descending and click OK. So now you can see things have been arranged in the descending order. You can sort the items in the bulleted list into ascending or descending order by clicking the sort button in the paragraph group on the Home tab. Sometimes we may have list of items that are not organized in a particular way. So if you want to arrange them in alphabetical order, we can use this option. For a bulleted list, if you wish, you can change the bullet symbol. So how to do it? So you can click the bullets arrow in the paragraph row and you can select the suitable bullet symbol from the bullets gallery. Now it is the time to do this task. This is a continuation from the previous set of activities. Open a Word file, then write a description about yourself and about your university. You have to save the file as myself. So that would be the file name. And it should be saved in D drive in the given folder. If you wish, you can select another suitable folder to save your file. When you are arranging your content, give a proper heading to each section. And each section and subsection should be numbered. Here you can see an example where you have two chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2. In chapter 1, I will have details about myself. Then in chapter 2, I can have details about the university. So within chapter 1, I can have subsections like who am I, my family details, hobbies, and you can add other subsections as you like. Then save the file. Outline view. So what is an outline? Outlines are composed of topics and subtopics. Topics are main ideas and subtopics would describe those ideas in detail. And sometimes we can divide it further by having subtopics for those subtopics. So we are going down to several levels of detail. The amount of detail you use depends on the way you are going to organize your content. When you create a document that contains topics or headings, you can format the heading with built-in heading styles that include outline levels. Then it would be easy to view and organize the document in outline view. So to get the outline view, you have to click the view tab and then in the views group, click the outline button. So now you can see the presentation of document is changed to outline view. Also, the outlining tab has been added to the ribbon. Here you can see a Word document with set of headings. Now I want to convert this document to the outline view. So what I do is I will go to the outline and I will click that button and it would be converted to the outline view. So you can see the difference of the original document and how it had been converted to the outline view. You can use commands in the outline view tool group of the outlining tab to do the following task. If you need to show only some headings at a specific level and above, then easily you can do it. Also, if you want to promote or demote a particular heading or body of text by changing the level, that also you can easily do using the outline view. Similarly, if you want to move headings and their text up or down in the document, that can also be easily done using the outline view. Let's see how we can do it. You have seen that I have different sections. Let's try to see the outline view. How do you get that one? You have to go to view. Then here you can see outline. I will click on that one. Now you can see all my sections and subsections. I have the first heading introduction, the second heading input devices. Here in input devices, I have several subsections, keyboard and mouse. And mouse is further divided into subsections. You can see them. So these are my outline view. So this shows the outline view of my original document. If I want to show only headings in a particular level and the headings above that, I can select from here. Let me select level 2. So I will only be able to see headings in level 2 and level 1. You can see only the things in level 2 and level 1 are shown. The headings in level 3 are hidden. If I want to show headings in level 3 also, I will select that. Now you can see headings in level 3 also. If I want on level 1, I select that one. So you now can see only those 3 headings. If I want to change some of the items order, if I want to move one of these items into another level, I can easily do it. Here you can see that I can change the level. So I can promote or I can demote. Let me promote for the time being keyboard as level 1. So I will click this arrow, I will promote it. So you can see it's going to the main section. So it's going to be as a main section. So it has been promoted to level 1. If I want to demote it again, I can click on this arrow and I can demote it. So it has again moved to the original position. So easily you can do it by using these arrows, or you can use this drop down list and you can change it. If you want to expand the content in the keyboard, you can click on this plus sign and you can see the content inside the keyboard subsection. If I want to hide it, if I want to collapse it, I can click on this minus sign. Again, it's going to be hidden. Creating a new outline. You can do it easily using the multi-level list. So how to do it with Microsoft Word? You can follow the steps mentioned here. First, click Home and in the paragraph group, click the arrow next to multi-level list. Then you will get list of options to select. You can see it in this figure. You can choose an outline style from the list library shown here. Start typing to begin the list, then press enter when you finish the line to start a new line. If you want to start a new list level, press the tab key and begin typing. Let's see how we can do it. Let's see how we can create a new outline. This is my existing document. I will change this document and we'll try to have a new outline. What you have to do, you have to go to Home tab, and inside that one, within the paragraph group, you have the multi-level list. So I will click on that arrow and you get the list library. From the list library, you can pick the suitable way of displaying your outline. Currently, I have selected this way of displaying my outline. If I want, I can have something like this. Chapter 1. Then I will not have numbers for subheadings. They would be just shown. So let's try that one. So I will select that. Now I have for the introduction chapter 1. Then input devices chapter 2. I hope you can remember I had numbers for the keyboard like 2.1, but it is removed because I have selected a different style. In this style, I don't have numbers for subsections. Similarly, mouse, I do not have a number. So the numbers have been removed. Now let's see output devices. It is also another main section. It is having chapter 3. Other than that, for the subsections, the numbers have been removed. So you can see I have changed the style. So if I want, I can move back to another different style. I can select multi-level list. From this one, I can pick one of the types I prefer. I would like to have this type. So I will click that one. Now I have the numbers. So introduction section 1. It does not have any subsections. Input devices section 2. It's a level 1 section. Then within that, I have subsections 2.1, 2.2, and within that also I have some other subsections likewise. 2.3, 2.4, likewise. Then let's move on to output devices. So it's level 1. So I have 3 dot output devices. So inside that I have monitor as 3.1. So using this multi-level list, you can change or you can create your outline. So here you can see section 3 output devices. Inside that I have a subsection called 3.1. If I want to move this to another level, initially I am having it in level 2. If I want to move it to level 3, what I can do is I will have to go to the place I have 3.1. So it's starting from monitor. So I have the cursor here. Then I can press the tab key. Now it has been changed to 3.1.1. If I want to move it to another level, if I want to demote it to another level, then again I can press the tab key. So you can see it has been demoted to another level. And that, as shown you before, you can easily go to the outline view and you can promote or demote your levels. So if you want to promote monitor, you can go to the outline view and you can promote it easily. Think about a large document that you have created. Maybe you are creating a document now. You will have many chapters. It will not be just 1 or 2 chapters. Maybe you have 6 chapters or 7 chapters. So it is very difficult to manage a very large document that have many chapters. Especially if more than one person is working on different chapters, then it becomes very difficult to handle. As a solution, you can use master document. We can use master document to create a big document from many small documents. So how to create a master document? Again, you have to click view and then go to outline. Then you will get the outlining tab where you have the master document group. There, select the show document button. Then click the insert button. Here you can use the insert subdocument dialog box to find the first document to insert into the master document. Similarly, if you have many more other documents, you can add them easily. Let's see how we can do that. This is the last page of my document. And to the end, I want to add another section which has been written by another person. So it is having the summary. So I want to include that to this long document. What I can do is I can make this as the master document and I can insert my sub-documents to this one. So how to do it? I have to go to view. Then I have to select outline. And here I have to click show document. So through this one, you are going to embed sub-documents and its content. So once you click this one, you get some other icons under master document grouping. Here, if you want, you can create a sub-document, but I have a sub-document already created. So I will click insert. So before that, I will show you what is in my sub-document. Here you can see my sub-document. It is a very short document, but I'm going to embed it into my master document. Let's move on to my master document again. Here, I'm going to insert it. I'm going to insert the subdocument. I will click on that. And you can see some files. So I will pick this document and I'm going to add it. So I will click yes. And you can see the summary document has been included. I will close the outline view. Let's see it. So here you can see my document has been included. Show you something else. Let me move on to my subdocument again. So here initially I am having summary. Let me change that to test 1, test 1. I'm going to save it. Let me move back to my original document. So you can see now I have test 1 included. If I want to delete it, I cannot do that change in the master document. If I want to remove it, I have to go back and do that change to my subdocument. So I can't, even if I click delete, I cannot delete this content. So if I move on to, my subdocument again, if I want, I can remove this one and I can move back to my heading where I had only summary. I will save it. Let's move again to my master document. Now you do not have test 1, test 1. You may be thinking why I cannot edit the content in my subdocument. So if I want to type inside, I cannot type. It is because this embedded document is locked. Let's go to view, then outline again. I will select show document. Here you can see the document is locked. So if I try to click on this one, it says the operation cannot be completed because I have already opened my subdocument in another window. So what I have to do is I have to close it. Let me close it first. Now I have closed it. So you can see the lock document option has been enabled. So previously I cannot change it. So let's move on to my original view again. I will close the outline view. So now I can type anything I want. You can see I can type. So here again summary, I will type summary work. So I can do the modification. Another thing that I can do, I can click on this unlink. If I click on this one, I would be removing the link this master document having with the subdocument. So it will make a copy in the master document too. I'm not going to unlink for the time being. I will keep it as it is. So now you must be having some idea what is a master document and what is a subdocument and how we can embed subdocuments to the master document. We have learned some relevant activities to create a long document. So we can do this next task. Let's create another Word document and save as lesson 26 sub. And you can store that also in the same folder where you stored your first document. So open that document and type your expectations as a software engineer as a list. Maybe you are planning to do certain things after becoming a software engineer. Maybe you are planning to earn a higher salary. Maybe you want to achieve certain things. So type all of them in this list. Save it and close it. Then open the previously created myself Word document, which you have stored in the same folder. Now switch to outline view. Here make sure that there is a heading for each section, and also within a section there will be many subsections. Add a new level in the same level as the main sections and type myself as a software engineer. Then you can create a master document from myself Word file. Then you can insert this newly created lesson 26 sub file below the level where you have myself as a software engineer. Then you can save the file. I hope by doing this task, you will get a better understanding about using master documents. Previously also, you learned about document breaks. There are two types of document breaks as page and section break. When you are creating long documents, it is really important to know about page breaks and section breaks. I will not talk about them in detail here, but for our task, you will need to go through them again. Then we have table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables. If you have gone through recommended books, or if you have gone through a long document, you must have seen table of contents and list of figures and list of tables at the beginning of the document. So table of contents provides a list of chapters and sections of a document with the commencing page number. We can simply call it as TOC. Then if you have figures or tables, then you can create separate list of figures and list of tables. List of all the graphics and tables in a document with the page number would be mentioned in the list of figures and in list of tables. However, to be included in the list of figures or in list of tables, that should be recognized. So to recognize it, it must have a caption. Already you have learned how to add a caption if you have an image or if you have a table. If you have forgotten them, please go through that video. So if you are going to create list of figures, how to do it? After all the captions have been added, generate a list of figures by selecting Insert Table from the Captions group on the Reference tab of the ribbon. And if you want to add list of tables, you can follow a similar pattern, but make sure that you have captions for your tables too. Now let's try to add table of contents. Usually we will place the table of contents before the main content. Here I have my cover page. Then I have my main content. So before that, I want to add my table of contents. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new section, layout, breaks, and I'm going to pick next page. And here I'm going to add my table of contents. So I will go to references. Here you have table of contents. I will click on the arrow. And you can select one of these options. Automatic or manual table. If you want, you can customize it. I will select automatic table 2. You can see my table of contents. Section 1, it is in page 3. Section 2 in page 4. 2.1 in page 4 again. Likewise, you can see the page number also. And it clearly indicates the section subsections. The benefit of having automatic table of contents would be, let's assume that I'm going to add a new section to my main content. Let's assume we are going to add it between keyboard and mouse. So once I add this new section, the page numbers that I have for the subsequent section would be changing because I'm going to add a new section. Maybe it's one page section. So accordingly, the subsequent sections comments in page number also should change. Since I have selected this automatic table of contents, I can click update table and automatically the page numbers also would be updated and I would be getting up-to-date table of contents or latest TOC. So that is a benefit when we are handling with large documents. Otherwise, we have many sections. One by one, we have to go and change the page numbers. It would be a very difficult task. Then I'm going to add list of figures and list of tables. How can I do it? Again, I'm going to have a page break, layout, page break. So here I'm going to add my list of figures. How I can do it? I go to references. Here I have captions. Inside that I have table of figures dialog. I click on that. And here under caption label, I can pick figure. Then I need to show the page number and the page numbers should be right aligned, and between the label and the page number, I want to have a tab leader and that should be dots. If not, you can select one of these options. I will click OK. Now you can see my figures, the figure label and the page number. As I mentioned to you before, you can see here, I have included captions for my figures. If you have not included the captions, then you will not get them displayed in your list of figures. So let's go down again. Here I have an image, but I have not included the caption. So that means it is not going to be displayed in the list of figures. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add it. So I'm going to insert caption. And it is not a table, it is a figure. I'll put figure, digital, pen. And it is going to be positioned below the selected item. So I have included the caption and I want to cite it. So how am I going to do it? Here, insert a cross-reference. I will click on that. I have a figure. And I'm not going to have the entire caption, only the label and the number. And it is going to be digital pen. Now you can see initially I only had 7 figures. Now because I have added this additional figure in between figure 5, accordingly the figure numbers have been updated. So automatically it is happening. Otherwise we will have to manually go and do those changes one by one. So now I'm going to insert the cross-reference. Insert. So you can see I have inserted that. Now let's move on to list of figures again. Here you can see I only have 7 images. That is the original number of figures I had. But I have included an additional image. So that would be numbered as figure 5. So accordingly, whatever the figures below that should be updated. And the page numbers also, if it is required. So what I have to do to update. So here you can see update table of figures. I will click on that. Update page numbers only or update entire table. Because I have included a new image, I will select update entire table. Click OK. Now you can see I have figure 5 also. Since I have used a different font style, you can see it is shown differently. But if I had changed it to the same style, it would be shown in the same way as other figures. So you can see how easily we can add list of figures and how easily we can modify it too. Now I am going to add list of tables. I am only having one table, so I'm going to add it. So here you have that option, table of figures dialog. Here under caption label, I have to select table. I am going to show the page numbers also. Click OK. Since I have only one table, it would be displayed here. If I'm going to add a new table, easily I can add that one and I can just select update. It is going to be updated. And if I'm going to remove a figure, I can remove it from the main content and easily I can update the list of figures. Again, we have an activity to do. We will be using the same document that we have created previously. That would be myself document. So you have to open that document and we are going to add TOC after the cover page. So add list of tables and list of figures after the TOC. So after you add the TOC, then you can add list of tables and figures. So make sure that you have tables and figures and you have included the captions for them. Step 4, you have to create a new section. In that section, you will have the table of contents, list of tables, and list of figures. You have already learned how to create a new section. Then you have to add page numbers to the new section created in the previous step. Make sure the page numbers would be in lowercase Roman numbers. And it would be centered and at the bottom of the page. If you have the cover page and any blank pages, they should not have page numbers. So that would be one section. And in step 6, so you will have the main content of your document that would be partitioned into a separate section. There you have to add the page numbers in the Hindu Arabic numbers. And it should be also centered and at the bottom of the page. So try to do it. Then again, you have to update your table of contents. Finally, save the file. Another important area that you have to learn when you are creating a long document would be index. An index lists the terms and topics that are in a document along with the pages that they appear on. So how to create an index? You mark the index entries by providing the name of the main entry and the cross-reference in your document. And then you can build the index. So it is available in the reference and you can select index. So here also you can see the options available for index. So how to include the text in an index? First, select the text you want to add the reference. On the reference tab in the index group, click the mark entry button as you can see here. Word adds a special index entry field that includes the marked main entry and any cross-reference information that you choose to include. To create the index, click Insert Index on the Reference tab in the Index group. And if you want to change the format, you can select the format in the Index dialog box. Let's see how we can create an index. Let's try to have an index. I need to add an index for this phrase alphanumeric keys. I will select that one. Then I have to go to references. And inside that, under index, I have to mark entry. So I will mark that. Here you can see mark index entry. If you want, you can include cross-reference information. I'm just going to click mark. I'm going to close it. If I want, I can do the same for modify keys. Mark entry. I'm going to mark it. That's all. I'm going to close it. So you can see some changes have been done. here also you can see XE, and here also you can see XE. That means I have included an index entry. Now I'm going to add my index. Usually we add the index at the end. We'll go to the end, and here I'm going to add my index. So how to do that one? Again, under references, in the index grouping, I have insert index. So I'm going to include whatever the words or phrases that I have identified as index entries here with the page number. So I click on that one. And I can select different ways to indicate that. If I want, I can have the page numbers as shown here. If I want, I can align the page numbers. I'm going to use this option. I'm not going to align the page numbers. The page number would be available along with the keyword. So I will enter OK. So you can see my keywords are in 2 columns. So alphanumeric keys, it is in page 6, and modifier keys also in page 6. So let's see, I'm going to add speakers also as an index entry. Mark entry. And I have the main entry. So I'm not going to add any cross-reference. I'm going to mark it. Close. Now I'm going to update my index. So update index, I'm going to select that. Now you can see alphanumeric keys, then modifier keys, then speakers all have been included in my index. Now let's try to remove these paragraph markers. I think you have already learned about that. So let's go on to home, and here you can see show or hide paragraph markers. You can select that and you can hide your markers. Usually when you're going to add index entries, automatically it will show the paragraph markers. After you do the indexing, you can remove the paragraph marker. So this is my index. So I will put the name index. When you look at long documents, you must have seen footnotes and endnotes. You can use footnotes and endnotes in documents to explain, comment on, or provide reference to something mentioned in a document. Usually, footnotes appear at the bottom of the page, and endnotes will appear at the end of the document or section. So that's the difference between footnote and endnote. So how to add footnotes? First, click where you want to add the footnote. Then click references, then insert footnote, and you can type your footnote text. Then how to add endnote? First, click where you want to add the endnote. Then go to references, then select insert endnote. Again, you can type your endnote text. Let's see how we can do it. Now let's try to add a footnote. I need to give some more details about this description. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a footnote. So let's try to add that footnote. I'm going to add it here. So here you can see under references, insert footnote. So I'm going to include a link to a Wikipedia article. So here I have included that. And here you can see number 1. So that is the first footnote. If I'm going to include another footnote, it would get number 2. So this is an example for a footnote. Now I'm going to add an endnote. Where do I get endnote? It would be at the end of the document. Footnote would be at the end of the page, and endnote would be at the end of the document. Let's say I'm going to add an endnote to IBM. I'm going to give more description about IBM through a Wikipedia article. So again, under references in footnotes grouping, you can see here, insert endnote. I will click on that. So here at the end of the document, I have endnote. So I have pasted it. So the link is given here. So you can see my endnote. So it is coming at the end of the document. So let's go to the place I have my reference. So here you can see my endnote. And here you can see my placement of the footnote. Reference tools. It is a list of all the references cited in the text of your report or in your document. When we are working with long documents like research reports, we will have to mention the source where we have taken certain content. And sometimes if the reader wants to get more details, then the reader can go through the reference list and go to that source. So it is important to include a list of references when we are creating a long document. When you are making your reports and even for your assignments, it is important that you add the references. You should give the credit to the person who have actually done the work. So how to add a new citation and source to a document? Go to the reference tab. In the citations and bibliography group, click the arrow next to style. Then select the style that you want to use for the citation and source. Then click at the end of the sentence or phrase that you want to cite. Here on the reference tab in the citations and bibliographic group, click Insert Citation. To add the source information, click Add New Source, then begin to fill the source information by clicking the arrow next to Type of Source. For example, your source might be a book, a report, or a website. Let's see how we can do this. So after you cite the content, you can create the reference list at the end of the document. So first you have to click where you want to insert the bibliography. Usually it would be at the end of the document or at the end of a section. On the reference tab as shown here in the citations and bibliography group, you have to click the bibliography. Let's see how we can do it. Now I'm going to add reference. You must have seen when you refer documents or reports, at the end, you have list of references. How to add that? You have to go to references. Then here you have to come to citations and bibliography. Under that, you have to select the style. There are different styles. You can select one of the styles that you prefer. And I'm going to select IEEE. Usually in most of your documents also you will be using IEEE style. Here I'm going to add my citation here. So to do that one, I have to select insert citation. I will click on the arrow. Since I have no citation, I will first add new source. Let's assume it is going to be a book. I'll put some name for the time being. I will put Jack Walter. And the title would be Computer Monitor Display. So the title would be Computer Monitor Display. Let's put the year as 2020. City, for example, I will put the same one, Chicago. So publisher, I can put some name. This is not an actual book. Publisher, I will put ABC Press. Language, I can put whatever the language, I will put English. I will click OK. So as per the IEEE style, you have the citations in numbers. So here you can see number 1. Let's try to add another citation. I'm going to add here. Insert citation. You can see the already included citation source. I'm going to add a new one. It is going to be a conference proceeding. The author would be Peter Van. The title would be Computer Screens in 2021. The year would be 2021. Now let's put the conference name. I will put ABC Conference. City, I will put Colombo. And I will click OK. See, I am having one here and here also. Initially, I included this reference and later on I included this one. So both are showing one, but actually this should be one and this should be two. So what I'm going to do is click one of them. And here you have update citations. Now you can see this has been changed to 2. So you can select one of them and you can do the update. Then in all the places it would be updated. Now we can add list of references. Usually we add list of references to the end of the document. So select bibliography and here you can see references. Select that one. And the list of references are included. So if you add more references, you can update the list of references and it would be updated. There are reference managers. Those are tools that manage references. For example, Mendeley, Zotero, they provide capability to manage your references. They allow to organize documents and cite references as you type a Word document. These desktop applications or web applications have plugins for Microsoft Word. Let's see how we can do it with Mendeley. And if you want, you can try out the same thing with Zotero desktop application. First, make sure that you have installed the plugin for that relevant reference manager in your Microsoft Word. Now let's move into another task. We will be using our same document, myself document. So open it. Then cite the content that you have taken from other sources. Maybe you have referred a paper. Maybe you have referred a book or a web page. Now it is the time to give the credit to the source. So cite your content that you have referred from other sources. And at the end of the document, add a new chapter and you can call it as references. Select the reference style as APA 6. Add the reference list. Finally, update your table of contents. So you should see a new section called references in the TOC. Then save the document. We have come to the end of the lesson. In this lesson, we have learned about arranging content in long documents. Outlines and mask documents will allow to create sub-documents chapter-wise, and later we can combine them to a single document. Other than that, in a long document, you will need to include table of contents and list of figures, list of tables for easy reference. Also, you have learned about creating an index and reference list. In the next lesson, we will learn about some advanced features in word processing to collaborate on documents and mail merge. Before moving on to the next section, you can do all the activities in this lesson and the other activities that you have not done previously. Thank you.